It can indicate a predisposition to strong emotional connections. On the other hand, fragmented lines can suggest challenges in past relationships that need to be overcome. This reading is not a fixed destination, but rather a tool that helps us understand the dynamics that unfold in our lives, a challenge or a blessing that can shape our trajectory. It's important to understand that the connections we make are not mere coincidences. They are divine opportunities for growth and transformation. When we look at the lines on our palm, we can see how they intertwine with the experiences we have with others. For example, the heart line can give us clues about our capacity for love and relationships. If this line is deep and well-defined, but also allows us to grow and evolve in ways we never imagined, the spiritual journey is ultimately a celebration of our capacity to be, create, and transform. The interactions we have with other people are fundamental to our spiritual evolution. Just as the lines on our hands reveal aspects of our journey, they also reflect the energetic and emotional exchanges we experience in our relationships. Each person we meet, each bond we form, brings with it a lesson, but also allows you to see your evolution over time, recognizing how your choices have shaped your spiritual journey. In short, the lines on our hands don't determine our destiny, but they do offer a glimpse into our potentials and tendencies. The real magic lies in our free will and the ability to shape our lives based on the choices we make. By connecting with our higher self and making conscious decisions, we can create a path that not only resonates with our essence. By becoming more aware of this power, we can create a life that reflects not only what is in our hands, but what is in our hearts. A practical way to apply this in your life is to keep a journal where you can write down your reflections on your choices and experiences. By looking at the lines on your hands and reflecting on what they mean, write down your perceptions and how these perceptions can influence your future decisions. This not only creates a space for self-reflection, we can begin to see every challenge as an opportunity. Instead of feeling limited by the marks on our palms, we can use this information as a springboard for action. Just as the lines on our hands can guide us, it's also crucial to remember that true transformation occurs when we decide to act on the insights we've gained. The practice of free will manifests itself in our daily actions. Every time we make a conscious choice, we are exercising our power. Has brought me a wealth of experiences that have helped me evolve in ways I would never have imagined. That's the beauty of free will. It allows us not only to go with the flow, but also to create new currents. Often, fear of the unknown prevents us from making choices that could transform our lives. Here, the wisdom we find in the lines of our hands can serve as a guide. By reminding ourselves that we are capable of shaping our experiences, but also to create new paths that can lead to even richer and more meaningful experiences. Once, on my own journey, I was faced with a choice that seemed difficult, but which, upon reflecting on the lines in my hand, I realized could be an opportunity for growth. Instead of following what seemed to be the safest path, I chose to take a risk and explore new possibilities. This decision, although challenging, we become more responsible for our choices. It is vital to recognize that although we may have tendencies and potentials revealed in the lines of our hands, we are not bound by them. Each of us has the capacity to change, grow, and evolve. What is written on our palms can offer us insights, but it is we who decide how to use this information. Free will allows us not only to follow a path that seems predetermined, this simple exercise can open doors to a deeper connection with your own inner wisdom. As we tune into our higher self, we also begin to realize that life is a series of choices. Every choice we make, even those that seem small, shapes our experience and the path we follow. This brings us to the realization that, despite the tendencies that the lines on our hands may indicate, we are the architects of our lives. Free will is a powerful gift, and by becoming aware of it, this connection allows me to access not only wisdom, but also a deep sense of peace and understanding. I encourage you to experience this. Take some time for yourself, perhaps in a quiet place where you won't be interrupted, and start exploring your hands. Notice the lines, the marks, and what they might mean to you. Ask yourself, what are these lines telling me about my journey? Allow the answers to come naturally. When we meditate on these lines, we can visualize how we can adjust our thoughts and beliefs so that they are more in line with our inner truth. One practice I have found extremely powerful is to take a quiet moment to examine the palm of my hand. While doing this, I close my eyes and breathe deeply. Then, I set the intention to connect with my higher self. Often, the answers don't come in the form of words, but as sensations or images that arise in my mind. This clarity guides us in our choices and helps us discern what truly resonates with our essence. Connecting with the higher self isn't just something that happens magically. It's a process that requires intention and presence. By observing the lines on our hands, we can begin to understand what they represent in our lives. For example, the headline can tell us about our way of thinking and creating. It reveals mental patterns that can help or limit us, but also an invitation to embrace life in all its complexity and beauty. The marks we find on our hands can be seen as a link between our being and our higher self. Every line, every curve, every little imperfection is a silent communication with the highest part of ourselves. When we allow ourselves to tune into this inner wisdom, we begin to access a clarity that transcends logic and reason. This connection with your palm prints is not just a practice of self-knowledge. It's a way of connecting with the wisdom of the universe and aligning yourself with your higher purpose. The spiritual journey is ultimately a series of transformations and new beginnings. By becoming aware of these aspects in our lives, we can live more fully, taking advantage of every opportunity to grow and evolve. With each line on our hands, we find not only a reflection of our journey. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. What matters is what we do now. So, when you come across the lines on your hand, use this knowledge as a tool to navigate your life cycles. Ask yourself, how can I embrace this current cycle? What lessons does it hold for me? How can I prepare for the next new beginning? This acceptance is essential for our spiritual journey, as it allows us to flow with the energies of the universe, rather than fight against them. It is essential to remember that life is made up of new beginnings. Every day, every moment, offers us the chance to start again. By looking at the lines in our hands, we can remind ourselves that we have the ability to shape our destiny at every moment. The awareness that we are always in a cycle of evolution can be liberating. This mental reset not only altered my perspective, but also had a significant impact on my life experiences. Life cycles can also manifest themselves in the phase changes we all experience, such as career transitions, relationships, and even changes in mentality. Each of these new beginnings is a chance to reassess and redefine what we want. When we accept these transitions, rather than resist them, we become more aligned with the flow of life. During a challenging period in my life, I decided to meditate on the headline, which reflects our thoughts and the way we process experiences. During this meditation, I realized that I was stuck in a cycle of negative thoughts, always questioning my choices and abilities. When I realized this, I began to actively work on changing my internal narrative. The transformation began with the simple decision to change my focus, to look at opportunities instead of limitations. Sometimes we can feel that we are stuck in a cycle, repeating the same experiences, without knowing how to break the chain. This is where the lines of the hand can be particularly revealing. They remind us that these cycles are opportunities for growth and learning. As you analyze the marks on your hands, ask yourself, what cycle am I currently experiencing? What can I learn from it? This kind of reflection can be a powerful catalyst for change. Once, but also begin to create a new reality that is more in line with your higher purpose. Cycles and new beginnings. The lines of the hand also reflect the cycles of life we go through. Each cycle brings its own wisdom and challenges, and recognizing these patterns allows us to accept changes and new beginnings as natural parts of our spiritual journey. Life is not a straight line, but a series of twists and turns, and how we adapt to these changes determines our evolution. Resistance to change often prevents us from moving forward, but when we decide to accept what is and allow ourselves to explore new paths, transformation becomes possible. As you look at the lines on your palm, ask yourself, what are these marks telling me? What patterns do I notice repeating themselves in my life? Transformation begins there, in the willingness to listen to your own inner voice and act from that place of awareness. In doing so, you not only rewrite your story, aligning our actions with our values and purposes. We mustn't forget that transformation also involves recognizing patterns that may no longer serve our growth. We often find lines that represent cycles of repetition, behaviors that perpetuate themselves, and which, if left unobserved, can keep us stuck in unwanted experiences. By becoming aware of these patterns, we have the opportunity to break them. This is not an easy process, but it is profoundly liberating, and it is our responsibility to absorb this message. One experience I had was meditating on the lifeline. Looking at it, I realized that it is not just an indication of longevity, but a representation of how we live each moment. The line may seem long or short, but what really matters is the quality of the life we choose to lead. Every little line, every curve, reflects our decisions and the energy we put into life. When we become aware of this, we can choose to live more fully. Throughout my spiritual journey, I have learned that true transformation begins when we decide to look inwards. We are often distracted by what is happening around us, but true change occurs when we confront our own truths. When we look at the lines on our hands, we shouldn't just regard them as mere traces. We should see them as maps that guide us through our experiences. Each one carries a meaning, a lesson that has been offered to us. Every intention and every action matters. By connecting with your true essence, you can transform your life in ways you never imagined possible. Transformation through consciousness. Every line we see on our hands is an opportunity for transformation. The awareness we develop about our patterns and behaviors allows us to rewrite our history. By looking at the marks on our palms, we can connect with the essence of who we are and, more importantly, who we want to become. It is a path of meditation that can open doors to a deeper understanding of who you are and what you really want to manifest in your life. The spiritual path is ultimately a journey of self-exploration and growth. By meditating on the lines of your hand and the intentions you place in them, you not only access a powerful inner resource, but also place yourself in a space of conscious creation. Remember that you are a co-creator of your reality and that every thought, it's an invitation to understand that your life is a constantly evolving tapestry, where each line and mark has its place and meaning. As you delve deeper into this process, you'll realize that the answers you're looking for are inside you, waiting to be revealed. In the end, palm line interpretation is not an end in itself, but a means of connecting with your essence and the lessons that life offers you. He began to better understand the patterns that led him to certain choices. This awareness brought him not only a deeper understanding of himself, but also a sense of empowerment. He realized that he had the ability to change his trajectory by making decisions that were more in line with his true self. This journey of interpreting the lines is not just about finding out what they mean, but about allowing yourself a moment of self-discovery. What cycles are repeating themselves and how can I change them? This practice not only enriches your connection with your own history, but also helps you to accept and understand that everything is part of a larger process of evolution. A friend of mine, who was going through a challenging phase, started using this practice of observing his hands as a way of reconnecting with himself. Over the weeks, he noticed that by meditating on his lines, are they aligned with what I really want? This reflection can bring to light patterns of behavior that you may not have noticed before, allowing you to make more conscious choices from now on. The marks on your hands can also be a guide to understanding the cycles of your life. Each line can reflect past experiences, challenges overcome, and lessons learned. As you meditate on these marks, you can ask yourself, what does this line teach me about my journey? Observe the lines and reflect on them. You are allowing yourself a moment of introspection. This moment of pause and contemplation is where the real magic happens. It is in this space that answers begin to emerge. For example, by looking at the line on your head, which can indicate your way of thinking and processing information, you can ask yourself, what are the thoughts that have been dominating my mind? You can access valuable insights that help shape your journey and understand the lessons that need to be learned. It's an invitation to explore more deeply what you really want in life and how this connects with your spiritual essence. Palm line interpretation is actually a form of deep meditation. It's a space where you can allow yourself to go beyond the superficialities of everyday life and get in touch with what really matters. When you sit with your hands, the intention of wanting to understand my true direction manifested in my being, and so I was able to see the options before me more clearly. This simple practice helped me transform a moment of uncertainty into an opportunity for growth. Meditating on the lines of your palm, therefore, is not just an exercise in curiosity, but a practice of self-knowledge and intention. By doing so, using your hands as a point of focus can be a powerful tool for clearing this confusion and aligning your energy. One experience I had was at a time of significant transition in my life. I was at a point where I felt I needed to make an important decision about the direction I wanted to take. Instead of feeling lost, I decided to take some time to connect with the lines on my hands. As I observed the marks and reflected on what they could tell me, I began to feel a clarity emerging. It's important to remember that the intention must be clear and aligned with your true essence. When your intention is in harmony with your inner self, you begin to notice synchronicities appearing in your life. Opportunities seem to align more fluidly, and you can feel more connected to the natural flow of life. On the other hand, if your intention is confused or based on fears, you may notice that things don't flow so well. The practice of meditating on your intentions. When we put it into our actions, thoughts and feelings, we are shaping our reality. For example, if you sit in a moment of stillness and visualize a goal, be it personal growth, a career change, or a healthy relationship, and put that intention into your hands, it's as if you're activating a creative process. By doing this, you are not only sending a message to the universe about what you want, but you are also creating an internal space that allows these manifestations to occur. Click on the link in the first pinned comment and find out how. The power of intention is a fundamental aspect of the spiritual journey we are all on. The hands, as extensions of our will and energy, serve as channels through which we manifest our desires and intentions in the world. When we connect with the lines on our hands, we begin to realize that each one is not just a mere mark, but a representation of the energies we channel. Intention is a powerful force. This deep connection with ourselves allows us not only to discover who we are, but also who we wish to become. Feel this energy. Let it flow through you and watch as your life begins to align with your most sincere intentions. Have you ever stopped to reflect on what your hands say about your soul? How about deepening this connection and transforming your spiritual journey? The 21-day spiritual challenge could be the key to unlocking your true potential. You're not just observing, you're connecting with the wisdom that already resides within you. This practice of introspection can become a powerful tool in your spiritual journey, allowing you to open doors to new experiences and understandings. The spiritual journey is a dance between observing and acting. By tuning into the messages our hands bring us, we can begin to create a path that resonates with our true essence. This change is a reflection of our growth and the choices we make. As we become more aware of our intentions and actions, we can see these transformations manifest in the lines of our hands. It's a powerful reminder that we are always evolving and that we have the power to shape our destiny. I encourage you to look at your lines with a new perspective. Ask yourself, what are they trying to teach me? What patterns can I identify that need to be transformed? In doing so, talks about our relationships and how we love. It's a reflection of what we value in our connections. We are often faced with emotional challenges that teach us about the importance of self-love and compassion. When we begin to interpret these lines, we are led to a profound self-knowledge that can guide us in our interactions with others. The beauty of studying our lines is that they are dynamic. Just like us, they can change over time. Reveals our mental capacities and how we process information and experiences. By observing this line, we can identify thought patterns that help us or limit us. I remember a time when I found myself stuck in a cycle of doubt and insecurity. By analyzing the line in my head, I realized that it was time to reevaluate my thoughts and beliefs. This realization led me to a place of transformation, where I was able to shape a new narrative for my life. The heart line, on the other hand, main lines and destinations. The main lines of the palm, such as the lifeline, the headline, and the heart line, act as indicators of our tendencies and potentials. They don't determine a fixed path, but offer a vision of what we can manifest in our reality, reflecting our soul's deepest desires. When we look at these lines, we realize that they are like maps that guide us, showing the directions we can take. The headline, for example. It is through it that we manifest our intentions in the world. When we align our thoughts and feelings with what is imprinted on our palms, we begin to understand the depth of who we are. This intimate connection between the hand and the soul is an invitation to get to know ourselves on a deeper level. By allowing ourselves to explore this connection, we can unlock dormant potential, learn from our past experiences, and thus move forward more clearly on our spiritual journey. For example, the lifeline, which many people interpret only as an indication of longevity, is actually a symbol of the experiences that intertwine with our existence. It represents the ups and downs, the choices I've made, and how those choices have impacted my journey. As I reflect on this, I invite you to do the same. Observe your hands, feel the texture, the marks, and let them guide you in a process of self-exploration. The hand is an energy channel. They serve as a mirror of our spiritual essence, reflecting the experiences, challenges, and learning that our soul has chosen to experience on this earthly journey. Each line, each mark, each curve carries with it the story of our lives, revealing not only what we have already experienced, but also what we can still manifest. When I look at the palm of my hand, I realize that the lines tell me a unique narrative. Each groove is a reminder of an experience that has shaped me. Get ready for a journey of self-discovery that promises to illuminate your path and strengthen your connection with the divine. I'm James. My own search for meaning and purpose began when I felt lost, yearning for a deeper connection with life. On this journey, I learned that there is immense value in sharing experiences and learning from others. The hand, as a reflection of the soul. Our hands are much more than just tools we use on a daily basis. Have you ever wondered how the lines on your hand can reveal the deepest secrets of your spiritual journey? Each curve and mark on your palm are not merely traces, but reflections of your experiences, challenges, and untapped potential. In this video, we'll explore how to interpret these signs, revealing insights into your life purpose, the learnings you should embrace, and the transformations that await you. Be open to the lessons they bring, and allow this journey of self-discovery to lead you to a place of greater understanding and spiritual fulfillment. You will not only enrich your own life, but also become a source of light and inspiration for those around you. Every step you take towards self-knowledge contributes to collective evolution, helping to create a more connected and conscious world. So when you look at the lines on your hands, remember that they are more than just marks. They are guides that can help you navigate the complexities of life. The process of interpreting the lines of the hand is not something that should be done quickly. It is a practice that requires patience and openness. As you delve deeper into this exploration, you may discover new dimensions of yourself that were previously hidden. And in doing so, you will begin to realize how your spiritual journey is actually a dance between what has been and what is yet to come. I invite you to embrace this journey with love and compassion. By doing so, ask yourself, what do these lines reveal about who I am? What stories do they tell about my journey? What can I learn from them? This journey of self-discovery is actually a path to self-knowledge and spiritual fulfillment. By integrating the messages your hands offer, you begin to align with your most authentic essence. Each line can be seen as an invitation to delve deeper into your spirituality, to explore your emotions, and to connect more deeply with your own history. As you commit to understanding these messages, you begin a process of self-discovery that can be transformative. It's not just about looking at the lines, but listening to what they have to say. This process is unique to each person, and there is no manual that can define how you should approach this journey. I invite you to allow yourself to explore your own interpretations. Take time to observe your hands. Meditate on the lines and how they relate to your experiences. As we dwell on these lines, we enter a state of introspection that leads us to question and search for the truths that reside within us. This search is not just about what is written on our palms, but about how we can interpret and live these messages in a meaningful way. Exploring the lines on your hands is an invitation to connect with your deepest essence. Each line represents not only what you have already experienced, but also what you have the potential to manifest in your life. Ask yourself, what lessons have you learned through the people who have crossed your path? How have these experiences shaped who you are today? By allowing yourself this reflection, you will be able to integrate the messages that your hands communicate, transforming them into concrete actions that will enrich your spiritual journey. The journey of self-discovery is a continuous and profound process, and exploring the lines on our hands is just one of the many paths we can follow. As we explore the connection between the lines on our hands and our relationships, it's important to remember that we are co-creators of our reality. Although the lines may indicate trends, it is we who decide how to respond to these influences. Every choice we make in relation to others helps us shape our destiny and write our own story. This gives us incredible power, as it allows us to choose how we want our relationships to affect us. Now, as you reflect on your own life, allowing experiences to shape us in a positive way. The way we relate to each other is also closely linked to our ability to love ourselves. When we accept and value ourselves, this is reflected in our interactions. The lines on our hands can show patterns of love and acceptance that we should cultivate. Healthy relationships are born from a place of self-love, and recognizing this can be a fundamental step on our spiritual journey, can be transformative and lead us to a deeper understanding of ourselves and others. It's essential to be open to what each interaction can teach us. Sometimes we may feel hurt or frustrated by other people, but these emotions are often invitations to introspection and growth. By cultivating the ability to see beyond the superficial, we can find the lessons that are hidden in difficulties. This requires a continuous practice of self-knowledge and acceptance. Every relationship carries with it a potential for learning. People enter and leave our lives for a reason, and this is often related to the lessons we need to learn. By examining our lines, we can reflect on the people around us and what they teach us. A close friend can show us the importance of loyalty, while a conflict with a colleague can teach us to respect boundaries. These experiences, when understood,